It's time for a new adventure.
Welcome back to another episode of Adventures in Business. This is your co-host, Amy Zander with ZD Media. And of course, I have the lovely Lisa Fisher with me. How you doing, Lisa?
I'm doing great, Amy. How are you? It was so good to see you in person last night at a networking event. You look fabulous. How's it
You
going?
too. I know. It's like I see you all the time on Zoom, and I don't see you in person all the time. And for those of you who haven't seen Lisa in a while, she's smoking hot, man. You are like you have really been working out. You're all toned and tan, and like you've lost weight lately. Like you look amazing. You really do. Like you've been working it, girl.
Thank you. And now you know why Amy and I've chosen her to be the co-host with our Adventures in Business podcast because she fills my soul. Thank you, Amy.
Yeah, it was nice. We were at a Lansing Chamber event last night. It was really nice to be out and about and see people, and it was warm out, and we had hot dogs on the grill. It was really good. Yeah, it's good to see people. Yeah. Yeah. So who do we have today?
Oh my goodness, we have a lovely lady. Her name happens to be Lisa as well. Lisa Barna is the founder of BlackDog Coffee. It's a coffee shop that's in Eaton Rapids. And I love that their tagline is for the betterment and development of community. And Amy, you know how important community giving is to both of us. Mm-hmm. And so Lisa, oh my gosh, I could go on. I could give your story away for you reading an amazing bio, but please welcome to the show. How are you?
I am great. I am so excited to be here with you guys today and share with you and all the listeners about BlackDog Coffee and all the cool stuff we're doing as we are rolling on our 7th month in business in Downtown Eaton Rapids. So we are just getting started, and already it's been a wild ride, and I can't wait for everything that is up next for us.
Excellent. Well, start by sharing with our listeners about what is the BlackDog Coffee Shop and how did it come to be?
Yeah, so before I was, goodness, look at that. I'm sorry to make you edit already. This
okay.
You're good.
Into it. How I got started with BlackDog Coffee is I had worked small business and community for about 10 years. And after working with small businesses for years, learning about the different programs that are available through the state of Michigan, through our local communities, our cities, towns, counties, things that support small businesses, I decided to take a leap and start a small business on my own that is focused on community development, bringing people together and creating really good jobs for our community. And that's kind of how BlackDog was born. And it has been incredible to see from a business owner side, all of the programs that I used to work in and promote and walk people through. And it, like I said, it's been really exciting as we've been going through this journey. And now BlackDog, that it's up and operational, gets to live our mission every single day. So our mission statement is coffee for the betterment and development of community. So everything that we do is how do we make our coffee shop a place where community comes together. We make our community better, not only for us, but for future generations. And how do we develop other businesses to grow alongside us? And, you know, a rising tide like raises all boats. So we want to make sure that if things are going well for us, how do we share what we're doing and how do we make more become more? And so that's really our goal with BlackDog.
Yeah, I love it. I was reading your story on your website, and you really had this foundation of building up community before you even opened your doors, which is great to hear. That's so nice that you had that as part of your mission and part of your core values before you even started. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different ways that BlackDog works to give back and to better our community. And the very first thing that we do is we start everything in-house. So I make sure that my staff are paid a living wage. So everybody gets $16 an hour. And then they get their tips on top of that. So our staff's making close to $20 an hour. They all get PTO. We give them 2 paid volunteer hours a month that they can go out in their community and dedicate time to a cause that they really care about. And we pay for those hours. And so we start there. We start with our own crew. And then from there, we donate to programs that go on to our community, whether it's our Christmas holiday parade or, like I said, other programs and events that are going on that we are really passionate about, that bring people together. And then we also cultivate a ton of our own events internally. So every month, BlackDog Coffee curates at least one event to bring people together. So we are supporting other entrepreneurs along the way. So we've had cookie decorating classes, which are taught by a cookie decorator in Charlotte. We have had dog treat making classes, which is by Burner Boards, which she's a small business owner in Mason. And we're always trying to bring people into the fold and say, how do we take our following and then also say, you love us, here's the people that we love that you'll love too. So we just spread it out because, like I said, more is more, and there's so much love that we can give to small businesses when we don't see each other as competition and we see each other as collaborators and people that can bring messages to our community. And so it's all about leveraging our platform and making sure that it's not just helping our staff, it's not just helping our community with events, but it's also then uplifting small business owners and entrepreneurs to give them the shot that we've had here.
Wow, that was very nicely said. And as I'm listening to your passion about this, and more is more collaboration for such a young person to come with this wisdom is phenomenal. So when did you really recognize the importance? I guess not when, but what is so important about bringing the community together from you? Is it, do you have an experience? But what is it about this collaboration is important to you?
Yeah, I think what it really fuels it is working for 10 years in small business development and seeing incredible business owners, people who are just as passionate as I am, people who love their community so much, who aren't given a chance, they aren't given a spotlight because they're not one of the chain restaurants, because they're not a big retailer. So it's understanding that one small business cannot survive on its own. You need a community of small business owners consistently lifting each other up every single day to have even a fraction of the impact that a Walmart has when it puts on a big commercial, or for us, like a Starbucks, when it puts an ad out and does a nationwide campaign. We can't compete with that. But what we do have is we have our community, and when we link to other small businesses, communities that they've cultivated, that's when we can get a huge push, and that's when we can get a surge, and that's how you survive. And so that's been a huge motivator, is seeing other people who just have beautiful businesses not be able to make it because they aren't able to have that community and to leverage that to move forward. So we're putting ourselves in this game so we can show, like, this is how small businesses can work together, and this is how it can be done. So I understand that what we're doing is a little bit radical and a little bit experimental, but I'm willing to take a risk on it because I think that this is the way that small businesses move forward.
Absolutely. We need people to take risks, right? We need people to take risks. All those business owners are taking risks opening businesses. And when we play small and play it safe, it makes it very challenging to capture that market, like you were sharing. You are located in Eaton Rapids, and you mentioned somebody from Charlotte, somebody from Mason. How far do you extend your reach?
So when we talk about collaborators, we've had people all the way from Detroit come in and partner with us. And while I do appreciate people from Detroit, Grand Rapids coming in and collaborating with us on programs, I love it when it's Eaton County. Like, that's where my heart is, because I think that Eaton County has so much to offer. I also think that Eaton County, when you look at Greater Lansing, we are the next place to really boom and grow. As we've seen communities like Okemos and then DeWitt and then Grand Ledge really have these sparks. I think the next spark is Eaton County. I think it's Charlotte. I think it's Eaton Rapids. And I know Mason's over in, Ingham, but I think it's that little belt just below the south side of Lansing building that you're seeing a lot of millennials move into these communities. You're seeing a ton of young business owners start in these communities where it's still affordable. You're still able to set roots. And I think that these are the communities that you're going to see the next really big boom. And I want to be a part of all of that.
I agree. And I really like what you said too about there's room for everybody to play, and having that collaboration mindset instead of the competition mindset is really, really important. That's amazing, especially in community building, and just there's room for everybody in the sandbox. And your roots go pretty deep in Eaton Rapids. Yeah.
Yeah. So my family's lived in Eaton Rapids for quite a while, and we're super lucky. The building that we have is just an incredible space. It's a beautiful old building. I think we can date it back to 1902 because that's when the first photograph of it was. I'm sure it's older than that first photo, but it's especially perfect for us because my great grandfather had owned the car wash that's connected to the building, and so he owned a piece of that. So when the building became available and ready for a new tenant to come in, I was like, this is kismet. Like we're meant to be there. So we happily put the building back into the family again and put another locally owned business in there. And like I said, we're very, very happy with our spot on Hamlin. We're larger than a normal coffee shop. We've got our standard area, which is our cafe. And then we have another side, which is our dining side, which is where we host all of our events. And then we have this massive car wash, which will be going under a huge development, hopefully in 2025. We'll see. Got really big dreams and really big plans for it. I'm hoping to work with MEDC to get some really cool stuff going on in there. But that's another whole conversation in and of itself. So
I love it. So let's say that I am wanting to be a part of your collaboration and I'm reaching out to you. How does that work? Can you walk business owners through how would that work?
Yeah. So let's say, for example, we had a caterer come to us the other day that says, hey, I want to get my catering business out there. Would you put flyers up in your shop? Would you have our business cards in here? And while that's a good way for us to partner, it's not the best way that we can partner with each other. So I ended up talking to the caterer and I said, how about we do an event together? And so right now we're working on building out a salsa making class where people will come in and make 3 different kinds of salsa. It's the recipe that this caterer has come up with. It shows their roots. It's a take-home product that people then can bust out for every family event or get together, that they've got this awesome salsa recipe in their back pocket. And what a better way to showcase their skills, their offerings, and give them just a sample of what they do, which will hopefully help launch them as they are like, oh, I know this caterer. They're reputable. They're great to work with. I had a food allergy when I went to this class and they were able to accommodate. I know they'll be able to do that for my son or daughter's graduation or whatever it might be. So that is a much more impactful way for us to partner than for me just handing a business card. Also, if they have followers from their collective that come in and get coffee for the first time and they're like, what a cool shop. I love being here. I didn't even know this was in our community. So that's what I like to do. I like to work with small business owners and ask, like, what do you do different than anyone else? And how do we turn that into an exciting, memorable moment that we can build together? And so that's the best way to partner. Is I wish there was like a form to fill out or like a checkbox, but there isn't. It has to be authentic. It has to be something creative, because when we try to do something that's in the mold of what everyone else has done, it's not going to work. People can sniff out something that's not authentic from a mile away. So we want to make sure that we are showcasing these small businesses in their best light. And how do we go about doing that? So
I'm a firm believer in that. Get a taste of it, right? Have a little taste of something that, and not just of eating taste, but here's my product, here's my services. See me now, become and get in a relationship and then build business. So I think that's a very important realm. And like you said, you can post business cards and flyers and all that anywhere, but where do people go to sign up for your events or to check out what your event calendar looks like?
Yeah, so our calendar changes week by week. So
Okay.
every Sunday we post a weekly calendar of upcoming events. Outside of that, we have events that are posted on our Facebook page. And then if it requires a registration, it's also on our website as well that you can register for any of our classes there. Our next two upcoming classes, we have a dream catcher making class, and then we have a watercolor painting class. And both of those will be hosted at the shop, and those are within the next 10 days will be both of those classes, so we're excited to see the turnout for those.
So tell our listeners about your Facebook page and your website.
Yeah, our Facebook page is BlackDog Coffee. BlackDog is one word, and our website is blackdogcoffeemi.weebly.com, and they can go on there and find all our upcoming events information on what we've got going on. Yeah, and I hope that they're able to follow along. So like and follow us so that you can see, because even right now, if dream catchers and watercolor painting aren't your thing, don't worry. In the fall, I think we're going to be doing a bread making class. And I told you about the salsa one. We've got a lot of things going on, and we're always trying to cultivate new partnerships. So if what we're doing right now doesn't strike your fancy, something in the future probably will.
Yeah. Yeah. And of course, to all of our listeners, we'll have the links to that on the show notes for this episode. So please check that out too. If you're driving, Don't worry, you can find it.
So what are you looking forward to the most in 2023 and beyond?
Honestly, I'm excited to get through a calendar year. I'm excited for our 1 year in business. That's what I'm the most excited for, because right now we don't know what's going to happen week to week, month to month. And thankfully, the community has consistently shown up and shown out for us. So it's been very, very good for us at BlackDog. But I think getting through that year and then being able to project to say, okay, this is what worked. This is what we need to retool. This is where we need to go forward is the thing that I'm most excited for. And I'm also hoping that we get to that point with that 1 year, because I'd love to do with the whole community, do a year in review. Like, are we serving you? What do you want more of? What do you want less of? How do we become what this community needs? And really be able to like retool, because I hate to be 5 years down the road and for someone to say, man, I wish you would have done X 3 years ago. I'm like, what? But you also have to give people the space to do that. So it's coming up on that year, and like I said, talking to people about what's needed. And that's what I'm excited, because we're constantly changing and innovating, because we want to fit the needs of this community as best as possible. And my thing is as long as my family's been there, and I live right over in Charlotte, I know that I am not the end all be all on knowing what our community needs. So being able to be like good active listeners to what our community is asking for, and then responding to that, is where we're going to grow. So I wish I could tell you, like, I've got a 6-step plan on where we're going. I don't know. We'll see when we get there.
So how do you plan on getting that information, like finding out what the community needs? I mean, I know you see a lot of people day to day, but like talking to them and asking them, but do you have a plan on how to capture that information?
I'm hoping to like put out surveys to people. I'm hoping to talk to people about it. I'd like to gather everybody together. So I want to do a big like birthday celebration for us on the date that we opened. And as people are coming in, say, hey, would you take a minute, since you got a free coffee on our birthday, to answer this little thing for us, and engage people's interest, and to see what they really liked, or maybe we find out like, oh, they didn't even know about X, Y, and Z that we're doing. How do we get that information out more? And then maybe we learn that, I don't know, we need to have a text thread to go out to people, or maybe like there's a lot of things that we've already been thinking about and we've been hearing from people. So I think at our 1 year, hopefully we'll really be able to get the vision for where we're going next. And then also have the understanding that year 2, we might have to retool the whole thing and rebuild. So.
Right. Yeah. And I think we should take a moment to just acknowledge the fact that feedback is good. And
Oh,
and it's brave. It's brave for you to put that out there and ask for the feedback. And that is something that small businesses absolutely need to do once in a while, is touch base and say, how are we doing? And what do we need to do more of? And what would you like to see? And that exactly what you're doing. And it's a brave thing to do for sure. And it's also very, very, very smart of you to recognize, hey, like there's always room for improvement, and we don't know everything. You don't know what you don't know. And to stay in touch with your community like that, that's really smart. Really smart.
Yeah. I always tell my staff there's not anything that I do 100% right 100% of the time. And so that comes down to like our programming and the way that we operate and the products that we serve. I know that there are gaps there. And so it's also, like I said, being able then to not just take the feedback, but then take those steps to implement. So,
or decide what's realistic or what you're not going to implement, because everybody's got an opinion, right? And not everything needs to be done or can be done or needs to be done right now, that kind of stuff too. So how's staffing been? Because there's like this, across the board staffing issues going on.
Yeah, I mean, if you ask me, like 10 days out of 10, my favorite thing about my job is my staff. We have the best, coolest, nicest staff. They are all super kind. They are competent. They are always like pushing me. I always tell my staff that like anything new that we do, I need to be bullied a little. So like, just keep telling me like, hey, Lisa, we need to do this. We need to do this. And then eventually I'm like, okay, I guess this is a good idea. We'll move forward on it, especially if they can get like a cohort of regulars that are like, hey, Lisa, your staff has a really good idea. And then I can move forward. And like I said, they're just the best. The way that they like serve this community, the way that they serve BlackDog and our mission is just absolutely more than I could have ever wished. We haven't had any staffing issues. When we first put out our big ask for staff to join us at BlackDog, we got 50 applications for 5 positions. We asked again in January to add another one. We got 25 applications. And just last month, again, we, I think, had the posting up for like less than 48 hours, and we had 25 applicants. So we are consistently getting people that are applying, that love what we do, who we are, and want to come on board with us.
Well, and Lisa, that's a huge a tribute to you, your leadership, your giving, your community, your passion. There are so many things about you that contribute to that kind of success with staffing. And so kudos to you for making sure your people are taken care of and giving them that shout out, because as we all know, without our support staff, it's challenging to run an operation the way we want it run and to implement the things that you're wanting to implement. So great job.
Absolutely. And I mean, well, and I see right now out of the corner of my eye, we've had like 13 orders come in since I've sat down for this interview. And it's not me dealing with those. That's my staff. Like those are the best people in town who get to deal with those orders. And I can sit here not worried about any of those that come in, because I said they're doing what they do, and they do it well.
Yeah. Very good. We've not talked about your coffee, your product, in terms of the coffee. Do you just serve coffee? Do you have pastries? Do you want to share a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we have our coffee. So we have 2 different blends of coffee, just our drip coffee that we sell. We've got our BlackDog, and then we've got an El Blanco, which is a lighter roast. And we're partnered with Foster's, who roasts all of our beans for us. Okay. And so we're super happy, because we were in the situation where we say, okay, we get a $20,000 roaster, or we can partner with this local roastery that's helping, small coffee companies like us get their start. And it has been incredible working with Foster's from day one. Nice. They are so amenable to our needs and the way that we want to like be different, the way that we want to like package our product, the look that we have. They have been great to work with through all of that. We have pastries in our shop. They're provided to us from Gigi's in Parma, which is a small cafe bake shop just right down the road from us. And then we also have breakfast sandwiches that are made in-house. We have a few lunch items as well, and they can be ordered all day long. And yeah, that's what people come in for. They usually come in for our latte and a For a Good Egg sandwich, which is a callback to my great-grandparents had a egg business in town, and their slogan was For a Good Egg, call Hyatt. And so we've got a For a Good Egg sandwich. And so yeah, so the people who remember that come in and say, "Oh, I know where that's from," and yeah, that's some of our family history is baked right into our menu there. So we, like I said, we've got a lot of really cool stuff. We've got coffee flights as well. So if you come in for the first time, you're not sure what you want, yeah, try a coffee flight. So try a little bit of everything. And then every 2 months, we have a seasonal menu, which adds another food item and a drink to our menu. And so it's always changing. It's always switching up. So we're really excited for our August menu that's coming out soon. And yeah, like I said, we've got a lot of really great affordable products for our community. So
Excellent.
One of the questions, Amy, do you want to ask your famous question for our listeners?
Well, I'm not sure if we're on the same page about that, but what I was going to ask is if there's anybody that we can possibly connect you with, there's anybody that you're looking to, meet or whatever, because we have a lot of listeners on this show and there's a lot of people in the Lansing area that tune into us. So it could be somebody specific that you're looking to meet, or in general, like an industry or something like that you're looking to meet up with or partner with, that you can put out there to the airwaves, and you never know who might know this person or this type of person that you're looking to meet up with.
I absolutely love that. The people that I am looking to connect with are people who are looking to bring their small business up and into the fold of the small business ecosystem and community in Lansing. So I love working with people who are just getting started. And like I said, I'm looking for people who can have events that are creative, different than anything that you've seen before. So if you know somebody who's really pushing the envelope and doing something super unique, I would love to talk to them, because we're also innovators here. We're not looking for kind of the same old stuff that has been done or seen before. So if you know somebody who's like, man, if I only had the space, if I only had a partner to bring this to a community, we would love to be that place where you guys get a launch pad and to start something here. So while there isn't one person that I have in mind, like I said, I'm looking for young people who are starting out and trying to innovate something new in this community.
Yeah, cool. And you have a space like your dining side, you can rent that space, right?
Yeah. So our dining side seats 40, and it's a great space. That's where we host every Saturday. We have yoga. So we have yoga over there. That's where we have all of our classes. So it's a big space, and can host a lot of students for any programs or activities.
Okay, great.
Wow, fantastic.
I've already got 2 people in mind. That's yeah.
That is so cool. Yeah. That's what we love about this, because again, Lisa, you really are speaking our language, because we're about that building community, lifting others up, helping springboard businesses, entrepreneurs, folks that have been around for a while. And we really appreciate what you're doing out in the Eaton Rapids area. Is there anything we have not asked you that you would like to share before we wrap up?
Oh my goodness. I think the one thing that I haven't talked about, which brings a lot of people to our shop, is while we have a lot of events and activities that happen in our dining side, it's also a rental space for bridal showers, baby showers, birthday parties, wedding anniversaries, whatever you might have coming up. It's a rental space where you can come in, throw a party, invite all your guests over. I think one of my favorite stories about our dining side is our biggest day that we ever had for rentals was the day after Thanksgiving. We just got call after call after call saying, I just had my in-laws at my house for Thanksgiving. We're going to your place for Christmas. And so we had a ton of family Christmas parties at the shop last year. And typically on a weekend for us, we have anywhere from 3 to 5 private events that are happening in there. So alongside what we're doing, we're constantly being rented out for events. And part of that is due to the fact that it's a really, really affordable space. So it's a beautiful space to be in. We provide tables and chairs there. And it's $60 for a 4-hour rental. So it's extremely affordable. And that's just based on the fact that I believe that people deserve beautiful spaces to celebrate their most precious moments. And what we were finding is that there were a lot of people who were having or just going without having baby showers or going without having a second birthday party for their kid because they can't afford a rental hall and they didn't want to have it in someone's garage. And the fact that our community can't have a beautiful space to celebrate these milestone markers in their lives, it's just it just broke my heart. So I was like, how do we make this affordable? So it's $60 for a 4-hour rental. Or if that's still unobtainable, you can do $100 in food and drink that your guests can purchase, and then that will cancel out your rental fee entirely. And so, so like I said, we try to make this space someplace that is accessible to absolutely everyone, and that's how we do it through our rentals. So a lot of the people who rent from us, while some have huge budgets, a lot of them maybe can't afford some of the other places. And we see people driving from Howell. We had a group from Chelsea. We had a group from Kalamazoo, all over, because we're one of the most affordable spaces that looks presentable. And with what we provide, it's a great space to have your events. And so, like I said, I'd love to get more people on our calendar. I think that we're booked for the next couple weeks, but there's a gap at the end of August, and then it gets hairy again in September, October, when the weather turns through the late fall, winter, and spring. It's really, really busy. But this time of year, if you're looking for something end of August, we still have some availability there. And who knows, call about other dates as well, and we'd be happy to tell you what's available in the shop. So
excellent.
Yeah.
It has been so refreshing to listen to you share your story, and just I'm looking forward to continue watching you grow, as well as the partnerships that you're forming to help other people do exactly what you shared today. So thank you so much for joining us, Lisa. It has been an honor and a pleasure.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, you guys too. It's been absolutely wonderful talking to you guys, and the energy that you give back. Because sometimes I say what we're doing and people give me this wide-eyed glare, like she's gonna fail, this isn't gonna work.
No, it's great.
No.
But I'm glad you guys see the vision and understand that through partnership and through collaboration, this is something that can honestly take root, and not just for us, but for all small businesses. And the fact that leveraging our partnerships is, like I said, the way that small businesses survive. And so
absolutely.
just the fact that you're so understanding of that is refreshing to me. So
we both have a restaurant background. We know it's a high energy industry. You have to
Yes,
have
it
that
is.
energy and that drive. Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yep. Well, and you've heard it here to our listeners. So head on out to Eaton Rapids, get yourself a BlackDog Coffee, check out the space, check out the rental space, think about a partnership, and send people over that way to check out this beautiful BlackDog Coffee and all the amazing things that they're doing over there, and check out Lisa and her vision, and maybe, take a page from her notebook as far as what they're doing over there. So it sounds like she's got a great vision and some great things going on, and we'll be watching for your 1-year anniversary party. So that'll be amazing. Yeah.
Thank you.
So
You're
thanks for being on our show. Oh, we'll be there. Yeah. Thanks for being on our show. Yeah.
Thank you. Have a good one, guys.
Yeah, you too. And to all our listeners, thank you again for joining us on another Adventures in Business. We release new episodes every Wednesday. You can find us at zediamedia.com or wherever you listen to your podcast. We hope you have a great day. And as always, go out and make it an adventure.
This This is a Zedia Media production.